What's up guys, it's your boy Milan Miguel, back at it again with another video. Today we are going to review the opening group stage for AC Milan and UEFA Champions League, so here we go.
Waking up, feeling like the thing for one. Count up my ones, lacing up my favorite ones. One of a kind, one of one, the only one. Got one shot and one chance.
Now, I really pondered about making a video for the Derby della Madonnina, but as you guys know, with the result, there was really no point of making a video. It was just unacceptable. It was utterly embarrassing, and we just need to put that behind us and go on to the next page. Simple as that. So, Champions League kicked off, and as you know, we're already in the group of death with Paris Saint-Germain, Borussia Dortmund, Newcastle, and AC Milan. Opening game at the San Siro with Newcastle coming to San Siro. This one was one with a storyline because, you know, Sandro Tonali, who we sold to Newcastle, came back to San Siro for the first time, and he also played in this matchup. As you guys know already from the score, we tied 0-0 in a game where we had 25 shots, 9 on target. Just absolutely unacceptable to not find the back of the net. And we had countless opportunities, honestly. And honestly, Rafael Leao should be ashamed because he shouldn't have been dribbling so much in the box. He should have just shot the ball, and we probably would have had a 1-0 lead. But credits to Nick Pope because, you know, making his UEFA Champions League debut, I think he's made the most saves for a keeper making their Champions League debut. So shout out to him. But overall, let's have a little recap of this game. So I think Milan dominated the game. The stats don't lie. We dominated in the first half, and we obviously deserved a goal, but we didn't have one. We had countless opportunities from Pobega, Krunic, Rafael Leao, Theo Hernandez, even Samuel Chukwueze. Giroud had a couple opportunities, but at the end of the day, we couldn't find the ball in the back of the net, and we drew in a game that we very much needed 3 points to dust off the loss at the Derby and also catapults us into a position to actually advancing out of this difficult group. Now, personally, I was kind of confused when the lineups came out and I saw that Pobega was starting, but credits to Pioli because the decision actually paid off. I think Pobega played well, put in a good shift for the amount of minutes that he was on the field, and, you know, it wasn't a bad decision for Pioli. We questioned it, but it paid off. Now, as for Sandro Tonali, I don't know if it was because it was an emotional game or because Newcastle was lost, but he didn't really do too much. He did put in, like, you know, some physicality in midfield against, you know, his former teammates, but other than that, Sandro Tonali was not the Sandro Tonali that we know and love in Milan. I mean, physicality aside, I think that Sandro Tonali just was there in the game. So with the result, Milan have now failed to win their last 3 opening games in the UEFA Champions League, which is honestly so disappointing for a team that has so much potential and has great world-class players at their disposal. There's just things that need to change, and it's just a friendly reminder that, you know, we're not there yet. We're not with the world beaters. We're not with, you know, Bayern Munich or Manchester City. We're still behind the pack. We're making progress, but we're definitely still behind the pack. Here are my takeaways from the game. I think Samuel Chukwueze getting his first start for Milan, absolutely great. I think his dribbling on the ball was quite effective, and his passing was effective as well. He likes to do some nice dribbles and then cross it into the box, although none of, you know, his attempts on goal and his crosses to his teammates weren't effective enough to create a goal. I thought he definitely put in a good shift, and I'm excited to see him get more playing time in Milan. Rotation between him and Christian Pulisic is going to be actually very, very good, and hopefully none of the players that I mentioned get injured. I think the referee for this game was fair. Davide Calabria got a yellow card in the first half, which prompted Stefano Pioli to sub him off at halftime and bring in Florenzi. Pioli's learning from his mistake of what happened in the Roma game with Fikayo Tomori. And I've got to say, Florenzi put in a good shift. He timed his runs perfectly, and he was effective in getting crosses into the box, trying to provide his teammates with opportunities to score a goal. As I mentioned already, no goals were found, which is so disappointing, honestly. For Pioli, I give him, a fair rating. I think he managed the game pretty well with what he had, and I thought that his substitutes were effective. The substitution of Tijani Reinders and Yunus Musa was quite effective. Tijani Reinders had a couple opportunities, again, not finding the back of the net, and I thought that Yunus Musa coming off the bench looked so good, despite he got a yellow card in the game as well. But his dribbling was really, really impressive, and I think that the more playing time that he gets and the more implementation he gets into the team, he's gonna be a really nice super sub for Milan. Now, let's talk about the injuries. So, Ruben Loftus-Cheek came off and was replaced by Yunus Musa, as I mentioned earlier. The injury was supposedly a cramp, so it shouldn't be a long-term injury. Ruben Loftus-Cheek posted on social media that he's fine, so happy to hear that. The other injury, Mike Milan, who seems to get injured every season after like the first couple of handful of games throughout the season. I don't know what it is at the moment, but he was seen limping, leaving the stadium. So it does bring some areas of concern because he is a really, really great keeper, but is he really that great of a keeper if he can't stay healthy for an entire season? And this is really strange because he didn't really have any injuries at Lille before. So fingers crossed. I saw that he would be back for the Lazio game. He's gonna miss out on the Hellas Verona game, but he should be back for the Lazio game. Let's give a special shout out to Marco Sportiello, who did come off the bench for Mike Mignon and made a crucial save in the final minutes of the game. I think Sportiello is gonna be a very, very good replacement for, or deputy for Magnan, and we don't have to worry about our goalkeeping situation. We saw in preseason how he managed to control games. A bit unfair with some of the goals that he conceded in preseason to judge him, but I think that Sportiello can do a great job for Magnan while Magnan is injured, so I'm excited to see him play in the Hellas Verona's game. Those are really all of my takeaways from the Champions League match. It's very, very disheartening and disappointing and hard as a Milan fan to just not be able to walk away with 3 points when you're in the group of death, considering how many times we shot the ball and considering that Rafael Leao had the opportunity to just shoot in the box with nobody marking him, and he didn't. He decided to try a back heel and ended up falling. But that's all I have for you guys. Thanks for watching. Forza Milan and peace.